Okay. Okay. Mess. What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming. Welcome. Appreciate it. Get my life together over here. Okay. I'm late. Okay. Thank you guys for coming. A little bit frazzled because I was kind of rushing to get a couple things together. So we're gonna do Nancy Garris came out with a podcast on BRYAN Kohberger regarding the whole Instagram thing. And then we're also going to do a call-in show if people want to call in with regards to the search warrant. People's thoughts on it. What's up? What's up? Slow down the chat already? Really? Y'all want it so already? And there's this debate online about the whole Kaylee's dog not being able to leave hair behind. Some people say it's impossible. Some people say all dogs, even hairless, can leave hair behind because they're talking about that strand of animal hair that was found in Kohberger's apartment. Stacy C says, what about Anna? So I scheduled a live stream for tomorrow, 12 p.m. And so after this stream is over, I'm going to redirect you guys there. So tomorrow we're going to talk about it. I just kind of just spread thin, spread everywhere, you know. So, but yeah, tomorrow we'll talk about that. I've already done 2 lives on Anna, and people are asking me they want more updates, and so I scheduled that for tomorrow. I think it would be too much to try to squeeze in tonight and do it, you know, it would be too rushy. So, somebody said dumbass people. So let's talk about this Instagram thing first. Some people are saying that this is fake news, or like, because I saw some comments on the video yesterday. So if you missed it, I mean, I don't know how you did if you did, because I did a video yesterday, and people came out with this article saying that in late October, an account that authorities believe belonged to BRYAN Kohberger sent a greeting to one of the female victims. The source says when he didn't reply, or when he didn't get a reply, he sent several more messages. He slid into one of the girl's DMs several times, but she didn't respond. The source tells people. Basically, it was just him saying, hey, how are you? But he did it again and again. And so people are like, oh, some YouTubers, I don't know what people, the only thing I could find, because I saw some people reference Fox News, is I guess they're talking about this, where Fox News said, was unable to confirm reporting independently. And so they're like, it's fake! It's fake! And I'm like, no, that just means they couldn't confirm it. You know, it's still possible. And I find it interesting that people run with the wildest, craziest conspiracy theories, but like something that's kind of plausible, like, no way, it's impossible. Right? And so let me show you this, and we're gonna listen to Nancy Grace talk about it. And when we do calls, we can talk about the Instagram thing. I think it's plausible. I think it is plausible. And I think all the data they've been collecting, the metadata, the user accounts, Fire Stick, the computer, all this stuff will probably be able to, hopefully maybe they'll be able to tell this Instagram thing, which maybe they already know, maybe they don't, the Tapatalk stuff, and some of the other accounts, the whole Papa Roger thing, maybe they'll be able to confirm that. But some of the crazy conspiracy people, I'm surprised that the normal, like, plausible things but the insane things, no, you know, like, I don't know. I want to show you this now. When Law and Crime played this, I don't know, because there were so many fake BRYAN Kohberger accounts. People claim that they saw, like, this was before the murders, that this account, that this person, what was it, October, I think? In late October. I think it's very plausible, especially if you think about that his pings are pinging multiple times prior in that area.
For Kaylee Goncalves' family had told me that Kaylee did not know BRYAN Kohberger, but he couldn't speak for the other victims in this case. I did get some screen grabs of an Instagram post, an Instagram account rather, that appeared to be linked to BRYAN Kohberger on the day of his arrest. And that account was...
So I don't know. I mean, this looks... Which one is it? Are they trying to say... Oh, okay, okay. I thought for a second they were talking about this, but they're just talking about that there was an account that was following them.
Following both Kaylee Goncalves and Madison Mogen. The account was later deleted. We will continue to follow this story.
I got no idea. Multiple people are talking about that. Now, I don't know people's.com history. I don't know if they're considered tabloid or not, but I've never seen them really getting things wrong or concocting things. But that's what Nancy's going to be talking about. I haven't listened to it, so I don't have any idea what they're going to say. Let me see. Is there another thing? Oh, there's another. I think this other clip, I'm going to wait till let's start listening to Nancy first. And I also don't want to take too long to get to the calls, because by the time we get to like done with everything, people already, well, I'm already kind of tired. So I want to try to give time for people to call in. So let's start with Nancy. It's Grace. Some people hate her. Some people love her. People angry at Nancy. And if you haven't seen my video earlier today, make sure you check it out. I went over the search warrant and I went over the important parts. The original document, I believe, was like 97 pages. But some of the stuff was like redundant, but it's like 97 pages. And this is from the docket. All right. And if you guys could hit like, I'd appreciate it, man. People's not a tabloid, right? I've never seen, personally, I'm not saying it's never happened, but like I've never seen them just concoct stuff for no reason. And the other thing, people are like, well, what's the source? Or where do they get the information from? I've had plenty of times when I've covered local stories that people have reached out to me and be like, hey, you can't say where you got this from or whatever. And they'll prove and verify to me, and I'll talk about it, but I can't release my source. That's a pretty common thing. Until after the fact. I've had that happen to me multiple times. All right. It's going to be loud too. Let me turn the sound a little bit down. There's a whole controversy about Kaylee's dog going on online. Murphy.
Finally, have we found the link between BRYAN Kohberger and his 4 murder victims, according to police? Of course, the state never has to prove motive, but any jury would wonder, why would he target people he had never met? Or had he? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Fox Nation and Sirius XM 111. First of all, take a listen to our friends at Fox 13 Seattle.
David Rose actually asked a retired Seattle police detective about why investigators have not revealed a possible connection between him and the victims.
You never have to know why it happened. You just have to show that it happened. I mean, everybody wants to know why, and the link between this guy and the victims, and maybe it'll come out in the future, but it's not necessary for a successful prosecution.
Well, he's absolutely correct about that. I've got an all-star panel to break down what we know right now. But before I go to Fox senior correspondent Laura Ingle, let me hit Dale Carson, high-profile lawyer out of Jacksonville, and more important to me, he's a former Fed with the FBI, former cop in Miami-Dade, certainly no lack of business there. You can find him at DaleCarsonLaw.com. Dale, the state never has to prove the motive, ever, under the law. But I always try to give the jury a motive or some sort of a connection between the victim and the defendant, because they're looking for that. And if you don't give it to them, I don't mean just anything you can dig up. I mean the motive, the connection. They could go back to the jury room and think, wow, you know what? There's a lot of forensic evidence, but he never even met these people. There's got to be another way to explain why his DNA was on the knife sheath. If you don't give them a motive or a nexus, you're going to have a problem come verdict time.
Well, that's absolutely right, Nancy. You're so right. The idea that humans in a jury panel can convict somebody just based on circumstantial evidence, which we've seen put together in the arrest affidavit, is very difficult for the prosecution. And it's one of the ways the defense attorneys poke holes in that kind of circumstantial case. All you have to do as a defense attorney is present reasonable doubt.
Such as, Sydney, sitting here at the studio, had never even met Dale Carson before her fingerprints turn up at the murder scene. Hey, maybe she was just there for a party earlier. A little chip and dip went down. That doesn't mean she's the killer. Well, of course she is the killer. But one juror could just be the fly in the ointment if you don't give a motive. But again, let me reiterate, state never has to prove motive. But do we finally have a link between BRYAN Kohberger, the PhD hopeful in criminology, and the four, and I can only describe them as beautiful young Idaho University students? Take a listen now to our friend Dave Mack at crimeonline.com.
Just 2 weeks before 4 University of Idaho students were murdered last November, BRYAN Kohberger sent a series of messages to one of the victims on Instagram. An investigator close to the case tells people in late October, an account authorities believe belonged to BRYAN Kohberger sent a greeting to one of the female victims. And when he didn't get a reply, he sent several more messages to her. The source said he slid into one of the girl's DMs several times.
Just sounds weird saying that. I mean, I know that's what the people say, but like to hear it in a case, you slid into the DMs, And I wonder if this is true. Why just one victim, right? Why not others? And if there was a target, like a specific one person, is that the person he was trying to get into? And why is this investigator talking? And people doesn't pay people, right? Like they don't pay for information, do they? Like I've heard supposedly, like TMZ, Daily Mail. I've even heard allegedly, I don't know if it's true, Inside Edition. I don't know. Why would they put that out?
But she didn't respond. Basically, it was just him saying, "Hey, how are you?" But he did it again and again and again and never got a reply.
Straight out to Laura Ingle joining me. Laura, it sure is an honor and a privilege to have you with us here today on Crime Stories. Laura Ingle, senior correspondent, Fox News Channel. Here's the irony, Laura Ingle. The girl or girls, or even Ethan, but I think it was one of the girls, may have never known that Kohberger was DMing them, which is, I actually got a question last night on Twitter. What is a DM? It's a direct message. And that means that you can, if you post something on Insta, everybody that follows you is going to see it.
And I was surprised that I had people asking me that yesterday in the video, like, what is a DM? Some of the people in the comments, or what is a PM? It's just direct message, personal message. It's a direct message to you instead of like a public one for everybody to see. It's like your inbox or something.
But you can direct message. Let's just say I have Laura Ingle's Insta. I can DM her, direct message her, and everybody else in the world doesn't see it. So Laura Ingle, the girl or girls may not have even seen his messages, his barrage of messages.
That's correct. And of course, this news coming to us from a source that spoke to People magazine about this, but you can only imagine that we are knowing this now because the phone was handed over. The parents, I think, have looked through the phone. I don't know the chain of custody that her phone went through, but it has been revealed now that it looks like there was a message coming from somebody that appeared to be BRYAN Kohberger. And you're right, the direct message thing, it happens to me. I have an Instagram, a public one, Laura Ingle TV. And if somebody messages me from a post that I make or a great report last night or what, something, I will see it. But if I'm not following that person, it'll go to this kind of envelope that I forget about. So there's sometimes I'll go, oh yeah, I need to look at that. You need to accept the messages, and there'll be a long string of, random strangers saying things. And sometimes.
And the comments that a lot of the ladies were commenting yesterday in the video that I posted, but all these weird messages that they get, I guess sometimes people trying to holler, but like also people with just weird requests to pay for this or pay for that. Can you take pictures of this? I forget to check that inbox area a lot of times. I go through it sometimes. I try to, but yeah.
I don't see it. And then you can either accept that message, you can delete that message. Sometimes they're creepy messages, as we all know, being on Instagram. So there is a very big chance that she or he, whichever victim this was, didn't see those messages because there wasn't a reply according to the source.
I've got so many awesome experts. Did you just hear everything Laura Engel just said? She knows every minute detail of this case, and she can deliver it in a way that it all makes sense. Before I go out to digital forensics examiner Giovanni Masucci, Cheryl McCollum, Laura Engel said something that really perked my ears up, and that was she mentioned chain of custody of the phone. Guys, with me, Cheryl McCollum, a forensics expert and founder of the Cold Case Research Institute. You can find her at coldcasecrimes.org. Oh, and she's a star of a hit new series. It's a podcast called Zone 7. Can you hurry up with some more podcasts, Cheryl? This once a week business is not doing it for me anymore. Cheryl, chain of custody that Laura Engel just said. Really, with all other evidence, you have to have a chain of custody. Here's a good example, Cheryl McCollum. I was prosecuting a serial killer, and I could get him for sure on one murder of a Jane Doe. So I went for that. I left everything else out because it wasn't as strong, and I didn't want to dilute my strong murder case with some very weak evidence in other victims' cases. So I went forward, and I had an awesome homicide detective. Well, listen to this. He gets the DNA from the defendant, takes to the crime lab, and then listen to this. You might need to sit down, everybody. About, 3 weeks before trial, I get a call from the crime lab that says, "Who brought this over? It's not signed." I just gave myself chills, which means he did everything right, but he forgot to put the piece of evidence tape over it and sign his name and the date and the time, which means it broke the chain. The chain of custody means if you don't have every minute accounted for with a piece of evidence from the time police find it till the time it's presented to a jury, then the chain has been broken and it will not come into evidence. It can't be corroborated. So this is what I did, just the end of that story. I still had time under discovery. I ran, and you recall my personal detective, Ernest Denismith. We ran, we sped in that old county-issued Crown Victoria to the Fulton County Jail. I had the defendant pulled out. I stared at him the entire time through a glass wall, and I watched the nurse take his DNA. I watched her put that in a sealed envelope. She gave it to Ernest. He signed it. He came and got in the car with me. Of course, we always fought over who was going to drive. I let him drive because you know how men are, control freaks. I let him drive to the crime lab. We walked it in together, and we handed it not just to the receptionist, who's awesome, but to the scientist. We redid the DNA on a rush order in time to hand it over to the defense prior to trial, just in the nick of time. Oh, dear Lord in heaven. Can you even imagine, Cheryl? So
no.
That's why I know. It makes me very anxious to even tell that story. But Laura Engel said chain of custody on the phone. But with a phone, Cheryl, do we need the actual phone, or can we go into the iCloud?
Well, it's going to be both. I mean, you've got a couple things going on here. Mm-hmm. The phone is going to be paramount for me as far as his phone. Let's start with the accused first. His searches.
If you guys could help me out with the likes, please, I'd appreciate that. Good evening. I'd really appreciate it. And tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be doing Anna Walsh. Some pretty crazy updates with that. And we'll see whatever else comes with that. And she's still missing. Still not found. So, yeah.
His pings.
Yeah.
And who he communicated with. Mm-hmm. Whether or not they communicated back. Because we're not talking about what they knew. We're talking about what he knew and what he did. Mm-hmm. Then when you've got the victim's phones, again, you're going to be able to see any communication between them. And I want to start, even if there is a stalker, because remember, Kaylee told people she had a stalker. Her daddy said she had a stalker. The vape store said they were talking about her having a stalker. So did she ever text that to anybody? Did she ever say, hey, Maddie, y'all come here, this guy's here again, or I feel like I'm being followed?
Can I just try to get the bus back in the middle of the road? Cheryl McCollum, say you have so much information and that beautiful head of yours. Nice way of saying, I'm talking about him DMing one or more of the 4 victims. And
they're going to be able to tell that from
Laura
his phone.
Engel said chain of custody. Giovanni Masucci, Senior Digital Forensic Examiner. Giovanni, thank you for being with us. Giovanni,
you're welcome.
Okay.
I like Cheryl. I want to hand the phone over to the expert, you in court, and say, tell me everything. But what if the chain has been broken, chain of custody? Can't you pull everything down from the iCloud?
Not everything. I want to have the actual phone.
Okay, that's not at all what I wanted you to say, but go ahead. I'm sitting down. I may need to lay down for this. Go ahead, Giovanni.
Okay, you can pull a lot of data. It depends what's being backed up off the phone. So that's where the issue is, because not everybody puts everything in the iCloud.
You know, I never select anything. I just assume everything's going to an iCloud.
No. There are some defaults, but if you want additional data, like your social media, if you want text messages, any type of communications, phone data going to be backed up, you basically have to click that in there.
I'm pretty sure with the iCloud thing, the text messages, well, I don't know. I just got the iPhone recently, but the text messages are backed up, aren't they? Or you have to select it. I don't know, the mail, notes, pictures, locations. I don't know about social media, though. I mean, social media has its own saving stuff that you could just log into the account.
Under your general section, under services. But yeah, it doesn't all go up there. So the best bet is to have the actual phone. Now, having the phone of the victim,
What says you got,
the tools now are so advanced, and they can ingest all these phones at once into a digital intelligence solution. And what it'll do, they will correlate and graph.
Okay, yeah, you're way. I need a war room for this. Okay, my little flow charts are. Now, just slow down just a little bit. Go back like 3 sentences. What with me, Giovanni Masucci, and it sounds like Laura Engel and Cheryl McCollum are correct. We are going to need the actual phone. We're going to have to show the chain. And we're going to have to, if we can't show the chain of custody, we're going to have to show that those DMs were sent before the parents got the phone. Something like that. Okay, go ahead, Giovanni.
Yes, correct. And so they can pull that data from the phone. The forensic tools are sophisticated enough now that they can pull the Instagram data from the victim and then correlate it with the defendant. And so that's going to be important. But I'm sure they're withholding other data as well.
What do you mean by that? You can't just drop a little bomb like that on me. You're sure, and I quote, they're withholding other data as well. What do you mean by that?
You know, I consult the federal government on forensics. And so, you know, they can't reveal all their cards yet. I'm sure because in discovery, it'll all come out because the defense has the right to get whatever's being discovered, and especially in how they're asking for it. And so, you know, typically as they're putting the case together, they're going to have data that they'll be able to have to share eventually. But I'm sure there's more data that they're compiling off both the victim phones and correlating, and also off the defendant's phones. And it's a process.
This episode so far is kind of like, I mean, because I don't know, like, I mean, I'm kind of more interested when they talk about the affidavit, I guess. It's not that, I don't think it's that deep. Like the Instagram thing, like we'll see what happens. I mean, they can get all kinds of data just from Instagram itself and the accounts. I mean, whatever they get on the phone too, but like, I don't know. I mean, we'll keep playing it some more though, but if anything, we'll just jump to calls soon. But let's keep going.
Yes.
It is a process, and you've got to hand everything over to the defense under a seminal U.S. Supreme Court case, Brady versus Maryland. I went all the way to the Supreme Court, and bottom line, you have to hand over scientific evidence, all of it, good or bad for the state. That includes DNA, fingerprints, fiber analysis, you name it, plus electronics. Anything that has to be analyzed by a scientist or a technician, fingerprints, the whole shebang, hair evidence, mitochondrial, blah, 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 all has to be handed over. All defendants' statements, all the witnesses you're going to bring on, and possibly a summary of their testimony. Everything you've got
I said Mel Hayton.
that is exculpatory has to be handed over ahead of time. You might as well just give the defense the whole file so it can never be said you withheld anything.
Exclude specialty.
Goncalves. I'm online.com.
Kaylee Goncalves had already moved out of the home where she and 3 other students were brutally murdered, but tragically returned to Moscow to visit her best friend that weekend. Kaylee's parents said,
Or angle. Was it a matter of wrong place, wrong time? Somehow, I don't.
Why I just went with the calls because you know what? It's a lot of just redundancy. There's not really. I guess we'll have to wait for the episode where she calls in. Actually, I'm gonna play something. I'm gonna start connecting to the line. I feel like we should just talk about the search warrant and get people's thoughts on the search warrant. Instagram things, like, we'll find out when we get there, right? Like we already kind of talked about it yesterday. I got a deep dive on it. Let's see. Let's just keep it moving, right? What do you think? No, we can don't do it. No, we want Nancy. I mean, how much can you talk about the Instagram account? There's not anything. We don't have any information besides allegedly he contacted him. That's it. Let's do that. Let's do that so we can talk about, and I'll pull it up. We can talk about the stuff they found, the stuff they didn't find. I have the pages saved there too. Application for search warrant. I really thought that probable cause affidavit too, the whole page. What is it, 35? I really thought this was so interesting. If you saw the video earlier, I thought it was pretty interesting. And then there's people saying that there's some dogs that just don't shed hair. Like it's impossible. Is that a thing, man? Can we get a dog expert or like a vegan to, oh no, vegan wouldn't. I don't know why I said vegan. That's so weird. Maybe they would. I don't know. Yeah, a veterinarian or somebody. Somebody. Dogs do not shed hair. Specific breeds. I mean, according to what I saw online, they all do. Just some shed or leave less hair. What do you want to call it? Shedding or leaving behind? Whatever terminology you want to use. They all leave hair behind. No, they don't. No. That's false. Fake news. Debunked. There we call it. Hold on a second. Let me dial in. Okay. All right. Okay, so all animals lose hair, no exception. All dogs shed. All right, so I'm going to listen to we already got a caller. Quick. I just want to listen to this thing.
Magazine exclusively.
Oh no, this is Instagram again.
That there was some sort of a direct message sent from.
I'm over the fucking Instagram shit. All right, let me take 951. We'll start the calls. Let me drop the call in the chat. 951, how you doing? Where you calling from?
What's up, big dog, Mel?
Yo!
I'm from SoCal.
How you doing? Junior, man, it's been a long time. How's life? Good. Yo, did you get caught up in the floods and stuff? What's going on over there?
Oh, yeah, it's pouring, bro. It's
Still?
raining and it's pouring.
Wow.
Nah, it's settled down already, though. But, yeah, it was going hard for a hot minute. So I don't want to hear shit about a drought from anyone these days. Nah, I'm just kidding. For real, though, man. Now we're plenty full over here. But, no, I just been watching in the back of the class like I always do. You dig? I'm still here, bro. But I don't like to oversaturate, you know, but got a couple of things that I just been jotting down over the last few weeks and shit. But bruh, I'm about to give you some gems. You ready?
Tell me. Are you talking about this after the search warrant or just the case in general?
Well, like the DM,
the DMs. Tell me.
Like, kind of everything.
There you go.
All right, so bro, real quick though, bro, like, okay, nowadays, bro, the average girl can get so many dudes in their DMs, let alone like good-looking girls. Let's just state that right there, okay? So if these girls are good-looking, you know, the ones that passed away, bro, they're getting mad messages, and I know about that hidden portfolio. I even forget about that shit sometimes, and it's in blue, you know, and it says like 4 messages, and I click it, I'm like, oh damn, that's somewhere else, you know. But you know, you don't have to open the message. You can still read the message when you DM someone,
right?
And girls have read it, you know. And I found a way around that shit. Here's the gem, bro.
Uh-oh.
So anyone that's listening, yeah, I'm about to give away some game. What I would do, bro, and I know they would read it, but it would say not opened. I would put a big old space on top, you dig, and have the message below. So when they would read it, when they would see that, you know, accept, decline, or throw away, whatever, those 3 options, they would have to open that motherfucker. You dig?
Yo, are you kidding me? No way.
Yeah, to scroll down, you dig? Man, I always try to find the loophole in everything and anything, bro. You know, that's just my vibe, dog. Because I was like, there's no way this girl is like, I know she's reading it, bro. And then, you know, I found that out, you know, just trial and error, and I was like, okay, that's a little thing I'm gonna use from now on. So they probably did read it. That's what I'm trying to say. They probably did read it without accepting his shit, because he's not doing what I did. You dig? That little big old space, like a paragraph of space, and the message is actually below that, you know?
Right.
But, there's that right there. And let's see.
Damn. That's crazy. I didn't know the guys were doing that.
Yeah, you got to find your way with so many dudes like going at every single girl. You got to be creative, you know. That's the way I think at it, bro. Or else you have no chance in this day and age, you know.
Damn.
But bro, somebody called back a while ago when this first started. He was talking about like taking L's, bro. I done took so many L's, you know, spitting game at girls and whatnot, yada yada. Bro, I could take an L all day, bro. I've been wanting to say this to you, dog. I could take an L, no problem, bro.
Really?
Hey, you want to go out to eat or something? Nah, fuck no, whatever. All right, cool, peace, whatever. But
do you get angry about it or no? Or you just cool?
No, there's been, yeah, okay. No, check it, bro. Say I've been snuffed at least, let's just say 100 times in my life, right? Bro, there's been like 2 instances, bro, where like, because you can be humble about it, bro. And like, you don't have to be humble about it, but you can just be like, nah, it's cool, or just whatever, and I'll just take my L and leave, you know? But like, I feel like there was 2 girls. I don't recall like the situation, bro, but I was heated, bro, because they like did the most, you know. And I don't think you have the right to react anyway. But they have the right to do whatever, you know, to react anyway. But I was like flabbergasted, bro, because I was like tripping. I was like, bro, how come I can take L's, but these situations, they got me heated, bro. Like, and they make me want to like keep messaging them, but I never did, you know. But I was like, why do I feel like that? And I feel like it was just the whole gumbo of everything was just bad, you know. And I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I feel like it was on their end too. Like I said, you don't have to be humble when you hand somebody an L, but they're being like really ignorant. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, you're tripping, bro. Like, you're lucky. Like, you got thirsty assholes on your tip. That's probably why a lot of females act like that. Because I always say to my friend, an ugly girl can get laid, right? No problem, bro. But an ugly dude, bro, they can, dog. They can. And yeah, that's a fact, bro. And also too, in high school, bro, the jocks were banging the cheerleaders, you know, the freaking the nerds were banging the nerds. The regular people were, and I was like you, bro. I was cool with the jocks. I was cool with the nerds. I was cool with everyone, bro. My homies, bro. When we would see somebody picking up like on somebody really like just somebody who they wouldn't pick on, bro, we'd beat their ass, bro, because that's not right, you know, and teach them a lesson, and then that would not happen. You know, a lot of the picking on the nerds and stuff would stop from the people who shouldn't be doing that. So we were that kind of clique, you know. But what I'm trying to say is like this dude, BRYAN Kohberger, freaking weenie.
Yeah, what
bro,
do you?
If
You,
the
th-
nerds are,
you think he's an incel?
late, bro. Yeah, I think he's an incel, and like I said, I took 198 L's normally, right?
Maybe it's like a hybrid. I don't know if the incels, like, they have hybrid incels. Like, he somewhat falls in there. He's kind of like a mix.
Yeah, like maybe like mix. Maybe him losing weight also, made him think like, why am I not getting all the attention now? I used to be something that they definitely would not want to look at, but now what's up? I kind of think I'm worthy in my mind. That's how I think he was thinking, But it's like, bro, like I said, there's good-looking girls, bro, and you got to get up in line, bro, or you got to stand out from the pack and do something. Be original, be yourself, But this dude probably couldn't take L's. He probably was like 198 L's that he couldn't take, and 2 of them were like whatever to him. But he was probably opposite, And that's just whack. And I feel like he's just doing all this for clout, bro. It's sad, bro. But that word, I hate that word too. But people will do the most in this day and age, bro. Just like that Anthony Fucci kid. Remember, he stabbed that girl a bunch of times, and he was recording on his Snapchat in the car, bro. That's
I didn't know
clout,
that.
Bro.
Was it really?
Yeah, he was recording when he got arrested, and he had posted to social media like, bro, you know how serious this is, bro? And you're over here posting on social because you're thirsty for the attention and like the dopamine. Like, get real, dog. Yeah, so Fool's got it twisted, bro. But I think that dude couldn't handle the L. And saying they worked at the spot, the waitress, there were waitresses.
Oh yeah.
Saying, nah, there's no connection with this fool that they don't know of. This fool could have been passing by them one night at that restaurant and him ordering some weird vegan stuff. Nothing wrong with vegans, but like ordering some vegan pizza, and in his mind, he's thinking totally different of how that whole situation was, and they're probably just like, all right, we served a dude pizza, and he's over here like, bro, they're probably checking me out and this and that, and it's like not even that. He's like in his head, on some weird shit. But yeah, fucking that fool was weird, bro. I just think he couldn't take an L, and he was doing this for clout. A football player got to work hard, bro. Got to go to college, for example. Got to go to the pros and shit. A killer, bro, just got to kill, and he'll get fame just like Ted Bundy. It ain't the same type of.
I mean, maybe he's getting the attention. Maybe he's getting the attention he's never gotten in life before. Now he's everywhere. All over the place.
And one more thing, bro. When I was in the military, bro, we would shave every day, and I still shave all the time, bro. And, Mach 5 razors, all that, I don't even do that no more. But, bro,
it's expensive,
I
right?
shave preferably with the 2 blades, bro. I love
the 2 blade is pretty good.
And I shave against the grain, big dog. I've been doing that for years, bro.
I go with the grain and then against the grain. You just straight up go against it.
Yeah, small stroke against it. So when this fool had cuts on his shit, bro, and they were saying, oh, he had 2 blades. I was like, bro, miss me with that shit, bro. I get the best cleanest shave with 2 blades. This fool was digging into his skin because he knew the camera's gonna be there. He's thirsty for attention, dog. Yeah, and so he's probably like making people think, is that from the razor or is that still from like scratches from the whole fight they put up, make people wondering, bro. This was a clout chasing weenie, bro, for shorties, bro. Yeah, but
all right, man. Well, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate the call, dude. I hope you're taking care of yourself out there.
I'm about returning up.
No, you're good. There's nobody on the line right now, so you're the only caller, so you're good. Yeah. All right, man.
Yeah, but I'm keeping track and all that. I'm still here, bro.
All right,
Stay
cool.
up, bro. I'm still gonna send you something through your PO box, bro. I just been through harsh.
No, you're good.
But I got you, bro. I got you on the cologne still.
That's what I forgot. Yeah, you were gonna give me a cologne. All right, yeah, I appreciate it.
And you said fruity, right? Got you, dog.
That sounds kind of funny.
Give
Wait,
out
what?
the name, bro.
Oh yeah, like that. Like fruity smells. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I won't give out the. Yeah, hook me up, man.
Yeah, if you get compliments from your girl, like, what's that? And other girls, like, hey, bro. and if you go, hey, Junior, send me some shit. I ain't even gonna tell you what the elixir is. Because this shit is some liquid gold. Don't tell no one, bro. Don't tell no one. Keep it between you, dig?
All right, cool, man. Well, thanks, bro.
I'll let you go, bro.
All right, take care, man.
Tune in, dog.
All right, later.
Be safe, bro.
Be safe.
Later.
That's Junior. He's been around the channel for a while. He always calls in. You can tell it's Cali, If you guys want to call in, because there's nobody on the lines. But if anything, I'll wing it. I'll keep talking, or we can play Nancy. I have this video I want to play for you too. Yeah, hopefully they're talking about this. What they're going to talk about. GHI Rebels of Reddit. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. It says here, here's a small financial gift for running a professional channel, being appreciative of your mods and supporters. All funds previously donated to GHI will now be dispersed to ethical content creators, Rebels. Thank you. That was a really nice donation. Appreciate that, man. Sent $100 in. Appreciate that. What's the topic? Well, if there's anything you guys want to talk about on the affidavit, like, or if you want to talk about the Instagram thing, I'm going to play a video, but I mean, I don't know, the dog hair stuff. I mean, I think like the warrant kind of leaves things to be desired, I guess. Trace evidence, including DNA from skin, cells, or other source footprints, fingerprints, hair, whether human or animal, dog. I don't know. I mean, I think it's interesting, I guess. I mean, it gives us some more insight, but.
Female victims on Instagram. Apparently did not respond. Want to bring in Paul Morrow, retired NYPD
We got another caller.
founder of OpsDesk.org. Nice to see you, Paul. You've been out to Idaho a couple times.
And you know, you could talk too about the glove. They found one glove. Uno guante, ¿verdad? Uno guante. What's the, let's see, application for search warrant? Where's the, I don't even know whether, for some reason I can't find the list, but I have it saved right here. The one nitrate type black glove, which some people were like, oh, you know, maybe that's the glove that the other glove that interview room found, but these are two different gloves. Like the one that he found outside of the house that looks like a leather glove. I mean, we got receipts to Walmart and Marshall's. Why? What's up with those receipts? It says one with Dickies tag. Dust container. I was wondering maybe they got hair follicles from there. Also, this dog here. So I guess what? They just got one strand, just one strand of animal hair. One strand. One. Could this have been a hair strand from Murphy, Kaylee's dog? Could this have been that, I don't know, it's a dorm. Like, were there other people, previous tenants that had animals there? And some people were saying the type of dog, what's the type of dog that Kaylee has? So I wrote it down somewhere. It's either a Labradoodle or a Golden Doodle. I think it's a Golden Doodle, right? Golden Doodle, I think. And so people were telling, oh, you know, it's hyperallergenic, so there's no way hair comes off. But they say all dogs leave hair behind. Some just leave less than others. And then the other thing, I can carry this. The other thing, one collection of dark red spot collected without testing. Why without testing? I don't know. Maybe they'll test it after. Dark red spot. Where? And then it says 2 cuttings from uncased pillow. So he don't have cases on his pillow. Uncased pillow of reddish brown stain. Larger stain tested. The other thing is like, okay, so, I mean, what is the thought? Are they trying to see maybe if it's the victim's blood there? Did this guy come home? They didn't, no shoes from the items seized. I don't see no shoes here. It doesn't look like they seized any clothes. So the clothes that DM saw Kohberger, the all black clad, whatever, none of that. He must have, like, obviously, I guess, discarded that. No weapon. Did he come home after getting rid of evidence and just go to sleep on the pillowcase on his bed with blood on him still? Or is this his own blood? Because I even had a friend say that, like, people in the chat say Golden Doodle. Okay. No pillowcase equals guilty. I even have people, a friend of mine tell me, well, that, you know, some people bleed out of their nose. So maybe, like, they have these, you know, was he sleeping? He just bled out of his nose and that's what's on his pillow. One dog strand. And even if this dog, let's say Murphy sheds less, right? Or doesn't shed, but he leaves a little bit of hair behind, whatever technical term you want to use or whatever. He could have still gotten a hair strand on him. I mean, he must have come in contact with the victims. You know, there's hair probably all over that place, or a little bit of hair around the house. I'm surprised they were able to get the one hair follicle. One hair. All right, let's check out the calls real quick. And now the lines are full. Let's go. 248. How you doing? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Mel. How are you?
Oh, hi, Laura. How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah.
Have you followed?
Seem to be anything new to the case. Yeah.
Mm.
Just kind of nitpicking at little things.
Mm.
So I just was said there were new callers, and I go back to the poem.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
About stalking, you know. Kind of thought it was there from the beginning because just, you know, how I felt. Trying to date and not getting any replies, you know.
You're not getting replies? Or are you talking about the poem?
Well, I wrote the poem because
Right,
I
right.
wasn't at the time, not getting any replies. And so, I mean, it really makes you feel weird and makes you wonder, you know, attacks your self-esteem. And, well, is there something doesn't seem right with me? What's wrong with the picture? What's wrong with the, you know, talking to someone on the phone? But, yeah. So I was going to read it again.
The one about stalking.
Yeah, it's called The Decision. Mm-hmm.
So this was in a state of, at a time where you were like messaging people, nobody was getting back. I guess it bothered you, and so you wrote a poem about it.
Right.
Were you the stalker?
And there wasn't.
Or?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Okay. Well, at first I was worried something happened to you. Now, 2 weeks later, I guess that it's true. You have decided that I'm not the one. You have decided not to have fun. You have decided we can't even be friends. You have decided not to see me again.
Yeah.
Not to send emails, not to talk on the phone, not to reply for reasons unknown, not to say one word and leave it at that. You have decided to be that kind of rat. You have decided to cast me aside. You have decided that you would decide. The emails are over. I won't call you again. And tears fill my eyes for what might have been.
Yeah.
And I never thought that you would ignore me. You have decided you feel nothing for me.
Damn. That's interesting. Do you think do you think Kohberger's like maybe a lonely guy, or just somebody that just had awkward, or like so he couldn't really read social cues and was just trying to like, I mean, I don't know. This guy went nuts though. There's people out there that are lonely, or like they can't really, they don't go and kill people. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, he was without a girlfriend for, a very long time. He was into a lot of different things to make himself feel better. And he was, bullied and made some changes. And even though, I mean, personally, you can do all that, but if it doesn't seem to help, you run out of things to do. And where you come to that point where it's like, oh my gosh, this is driving me crazy. I think it drove him crazy.
Wow.
I do, because, I mean, he really didn't end up to be that, bad looking.
Right. I've had some people tell me that he's not like a...
Handsome, clean cut, in, a good place as far as education, and still not seeming to have anything going for him. And that was probably over all those years eating him up inside. So he was giving it one last ditch effort here, and that didn't go well. And it just was festering, I think, to where, it drove him crazy. And so he was studying, trying to get all this information from past criminals and, past killers, and trying to glean from that and use it in his favor. But I don't think he killed before. I think he lost it in the house, in the euphoria of his actions, that he didn't realize how it was going to make him feel, and that he walked past DM. He didn't even see her. He was looking at that door wall, and he was just someplace else inside after doing that, and didn't know it was going to make him feel like that, and he started making mistakes. And those are the things that they're finding, and that's what, led to him. Because otherwise, who would know?
Oh, thanks, Lorette. Yeah, appreciate the call and your insight.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm glad you got more calls. And take care of
Thank
yourself.
you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for calling because I appreciate that because, yeah, it was empty. We got people now holding. Just a little chit chat tonight. Anything regarding the story. 754, how you doing? Where you calling from?
Oh my God! Hi, Mel.
Who did?
How are you?
Good. Who's this?
I wonder what that. Who is this?
Yeah.
This is the Queen of Darkness. What do you mean? No, I'm joking.
I was about to say.
I
what?
wonder what that lady's house looks like. The one that just called. I wonder what it looks like inside. Like I think she's got like vintage coffins and like skulls everywhere or something. But I wanted to ask you, do you think it was Brian that called you that one day?
I don't know. I don't even remember which one. I mean, I think I had two kind of weird calls, and then there was another channel that people thought he had called into. But the other person.
What does your instinct tell you?
I don't think so.
Oh,
so.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it was, dude.
You think so?
Hell yeah, dude. I think it was.
Yeah. Do you think they got enough to?
Question.
Huh?
One last question.
Yeah, ask. Go on.
Did you ever go to the Yellow Greens Farmers Market?
Yeah.
Did you ever see a barber shop in there?
Yes. I walked by one or something one time.
It was like really colorful.
I don't know if it was colorful. I know that I went there like months ago, and there was a barber shop in there.
Ago?
I think it was a long time ago. Yeah, not recently.
I'm expensive now there.
Is that where you've been?
Expensive. Yeah, it's expensive. I used to own a barber shop in there. It used to be called the Pink Cock. It was the Pink Rooster.
Oh, really? Oh, it's not okay.
Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to know like what your intuition was about that.
The call. It's like a blur. I don't even remember that shit, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right, Mel.
Thank you. Any thoughts with the new stuff today, or it's just kind of like, we'll see what happens.
With what? With
the stuff that they took out of his apartment. Tu sabes,
Man, we don't know nothing until they test that shit, man.
Okay.
We don't know nothing until they test that shit. They didn't give us nothing.
Yeah.
All right, now can you hang up? I'm watching my face.
I'm actually you're not gonna believe this shit. My computer's frozen right now.
Oh fuck! Hold on, okay.
I can't even pick up my whole desktop on this side is just. Oh, there we go. It's back. Oh my god. But no, it's not.
All right, bye, Mel.
Bye. Oh, this is so weird. Is this a sign of the computer's crashing? Bye. Take care. That's actually a local person. I got freaked out because I thought it would be like, I saw you there when you were there. I was like, oh shit. 757. How you doing? Where you calling from?
Me?
Yes. Hi. How you doing?
Hey, cool, man. Oh, like, look, okay. Hola. Hola, Senor El Mello. Hey, I'm calling from Hampton, Virginia.
Nice.
A mile and a half away from where Cody, so we were hoping that what happened with Cody is his father, I hate to say it, adopted him out nicely to someone else, and maybe he's living a good life in Washington State. We don't know.
You guys still have a hope, that maybe he's just the father's gave him away or something.
That's what we're hoping. I'm not involved in all that because, got a job to do. But I would like to tell you that I think you're really good. I started listening to you when Gabby disappeared because I had COVID and I had nothing else to do, and then I didn't realize there's all these kind of channels available. And I listened to a lot of them, but I'm like, nope. I like Mel because you're honest, you're transparent, and you're not making up stupid stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.
So I'm really thrilled to be talking to you. And I'm I was born in Costa Rica, but nice. I don't speak the language or anything. But I love Spanish food. My father was from Ceiba. So, I don't know if you know where that is.
No, never heard of that.
Venezuela. It's below Aruba where I get my scuba diving gear from.
Okay. Oh,
So, yeah, so, I grew up on the kind of food you eat or you ate and stuff. So it's like really kind of cool listening to you. And like I said, I really enjoy the fact that you're very transparent and you don't buy into all that other silly stuff.
Thank you. Try to avoid it.
And that's really all I have to say. And
Thank you
it's
so
my
much.
opinion about, the big, the little BRYAN Kohberger thing.
Yeah.
It's all speculation until we know the facts.
Right. Are you kind of like, are you still following closely, or you're like, all right, I'm ready for some new, like, other stories?
Well, I know that until they go to trial, there's really nothing new we can learn because they're only going to release what they think that if they have to, so here's my thing. If they have to get a jury, you don't want to put too much out there because then you're going to find a lot of people that are unbiased. That are biased, sorry. You need unbiased people to be on a jury. And so, a lot of people have a hard time dealing with this, but the less information we know, the better it is for a jury.
Right.
Trial of your, peers. So, that's my thing. It's like, I don't want to know too much, just like with our government. I don't want to know everything they're doing because hopefully they're doing it for our benefit, and as our society. But, do you cook Dominican or Spanish? We call it Spanish, Dominican, Mexican, whatever, South American, Central American food for your daughter? Like, do y'all eat plantains?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I have this, I have mango sometimes, like a breakfast thing. It's plantains, salami, fried cheese, onions, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Tostones?
I love tostones, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Well,
That's
thank
plantains.
you for taking my call.
Thank
I'm really
you.
excited. I've been listening for a while, and I can say one thing. You complain about, I don't read real well. Well, nobody reads real well when they're trying to multitask. But when you don't have to worry about, when you do your private little thing and you just concentrate on reading, you do excellent.
Thank you. Wait, are you talking about today or just in general? In general. Okay, yeah, thank you.
And today too, yeah. But and today and in general, because you're looking here, you're looking there, you're looking up, you're looking down, and you do a really great job, and I appreciate you. And I don't even listen to TV anymore. Not that I'm stuck on listening to you all the time, but a lot of times I got to catch up with you. 3, 4, 5 hours later, or maybe the next day.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you watching.
To talk to you.
And the support. Yeah, thank you for calling.
Absolutely. All right, love you.
All right, love you
Good
too.
night.
Take care. Bye.
All right, adios.
Adios. Maybe with this thing is not much to talk about. It's interesting what came out with this the search warrant, and it almost is kind of like, I guess maybe it is what it is, and we have to kind of wait for more, I guess, let's see. 646, how you doing? Where you calling from?
Hi, Mel. 646?
Yes, you're on. How you doing?
Hola.
Hola.
Okay, honey. It's Jackie Garnett, Latina
Jackie.
from NYC.
¿Cómo está? I
What's up,
see you all
baby?
in the chat. Good. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, always talking. I almost hung up after, what's her name, Laurette?
Yeah.
Your sexy lady?
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost hung up because those are some hard shoes to fill. My God. I don't sound like that. No, well, I'm calling just to make a little comment about the dog hair part. I own a Morkie who's supposedly supposed to be hypoallergenic, non-shedding dog.
Wait, what kind of dog?
A Morkie,
okay.
Maltese and a Yorkie mix.
Oh, let me ask you something, because I had a whole conversation with a friend of mine. Apparently, there's like GMO dogs. They just genetically modify these things. Is that what that is? It's like it's a science experiment. They just blend it together and splice it or whatever, and then you get a mix.
Yes, I think the main part of that mix is supposed to be the fur, the part that is hypoallergenic and non-shedding, and also the size. That's where the Yorkie also comes in. That's my understanding of the reason for that mix. They're small, they're very friendly, fast learners, and like energetic.
So it's a Morkie.
A Morkie, yeah.
No, hell
a
no.
Maltese.
Let me take a look. Oh, okay. It's kind of cute though. Those look cute.
Yes, mine is like the tan colored one because they come in many colors. Okay. The Maltese is usually a white color, and you know Yorkies have all those different colors in it: the gold, the silver, brown.
Okay.
Yeah, that I love my dogs. So they're supposedly non-shedding, which to me scientifically believe in that.
You don't believe in that?
I mean, I don't think. No, I mean, for him, my experience with him is that his hair does grow, his fur, I should say, does grow long, but, and I don't see it around the house. It's not on my sofa. I have dark sofas, not on my clothes. But this is the part I really wanted to call in and explain is that as a dog owner, you are responsible to maintain your dog's fur in between grooming. So, for example, I take him to the groomers every 4 to 6 weeks, closer to 6 weeks. But that doesn't mean that that's it. He's just walking around just like that. I am responsible to brush him often. So it's possible, especially a doodle. I didn't choose a doodle as my dog because their fur is a little harder to comb out and brush out. So it could be possible that the dog was being maintained. Maybe it's a non-shedding dog.
But they still shed,
fur
though.
does come off. Yeah, some will come off if I'm brushing him and I'm taking care of him like I'm supposed to in between the shedding. I mean, in between the grooming, fur does come out. So you can have fur in your home if you were taking care of your dog's fur.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, and the fact that it was one really feeds into the fact that it's a non-shedding dog. So I think it's possible, you know, that the doodle probably was being taken care of. Maybe they brushed him in the house. So there could still be a dog fur in that house. Right. Just that it just didn't just shed on your couch or your clothes like most people think dogs do.
Right.
You know, and I'm not an expert. I'm not a groomer. I'm not a vet. I'm not vegan. But, you know, that's my experience with the dog. And I had a Maltese before this one for 15 years, and he passed away. And it's the same thing. No fur anywhere unless I groomed him or I was brushing him.
Okay.
You know, so it's still possible to have a dog fur in your home if you take care of your dog.
Oh, okay. Because the way some people are talking, it's like it's impossible. Like it'll never come off. It's just they just, you know.
I don't think there's anything that exists. Right. I don't even think
somebody
a dog.
Somebody said even the ones that are like. Somebody said even the ones that are skinless, or not skinless, hairless, they still drop some sort of hair or something. Somebody said, I don't know if that's true, but
I would have no idea about that because those are some ugly dogs in my opinion.
No.
Canceled, yep.
Oh.
No, just in my opinion. But yeah, you know, even though they technically say they don't shed, they don't normally, like not just from jumping on you or laying on your furniture, but it has to come out. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine if a fur never came out? That's impossible.
Right.
That's impossible. It does, because if that was the case when I brush my dog, I would think it would be yanking his hair out.
Right.
But it doesn't. You know, it does come out. If you take care of your dog, you will have fur. You're just not. You know, I just wanted to add that in there because I read into this before I got my dog, and my Maltese never shed. I didn't really look into it at the time. I just had her, and I took care of her. But when I went to get another dog after my Lola passed away, I wanted to do my homework. I want to make sure I got the right dog for my family. So I didn't need shedding. I'm too old to start picking up fur and all that. But they don't. They don't shed normally.
Okay.
But it will come out. I mean, come on, you got to take care of your dog. So maybe the doodle needs a little more maintenance than the Maltese. The doodle won't shed unless you brush their fur. So maybe that's how that fur got in there. That's all.
Well, thank
That's
you.
all I
Appreciate
wanted
that
to
call.
add in there.
Yeah, great call.
That
Thanks.
and I love you to death.
I
Thank
love
you
you
for
too.
the
Thank you,
company
Jackie.
you keep me.
All right. Take care.
Take care, sweetie.
Bye.
Okay, honey. Bye.
She's been riding too for a while. Thank you so much. 419, how you doing? Where you calling from?
Hey.
Hola.
Calling from the Florida of the North.
Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Name is Alpha Devita.
Alpha Devita?
Yeah, how you doing?
Alpha Devita. Uh-huh. Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I've been following this case for a while, and I've been thinking about Mr. Bryan, little burger boy. And I think he has delusions of grandeur to begin with. I think that maybe he had some friends with him, went to the hill behind the house, did something not so legal. If you look, there's a little fence. It has a gate that opens outward to Queen Street. I think maybe there had been some trampling back and forth with the kids while they were having a party. And I think that he had been there a lot because people who don't sleep, have a lot of issues with migraines, tend to go on a lot of drives. You know, he went from Pennsylvania to Washington State. And I have a hunch that it had to do with some very pretty girls that live in a house. So maybe he was scoping once he got there, seen them, decided that he was going to keep back looking.
Man. Hey, you think they got enough on him? So there's some people like, oh, they don't got enough or whatever. You think so far what we've seen that's been coming out, you think it's enough or no? How you feeling? What you think?
Well, according to what the people have been saying, the experts, the FBI analysts and whatnot, we know about 5% of what the case actually is. You know, 95% of the case is going to be held close to the vest. The best explanations, they're going to be brought out in court. They're going to want to know everything, everybody that's been in there. All of those kids wear Vans, so that's not necessarily something that's going to hold up in court.
And they didn't, it looks like they didn't even remove Vans. Looks like they didn't remove any Vans either from the house.
So why was that brought up? Was Dylan a wearer of Vans?
Oh, Lord. You still, are people still looking at Dylan and stuff?
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that maybe this dude was trying to pin it on anyone but himself. He was observant. He watched them. He went to the restaurant that they worked at, saw the things that they did, maybe went to the bars that they were drinking at, went to the parties that they were at. It isn't unheard of. He'd stick out like a sore thumb. An almost 30-year-old hanging out with 20-year-olds, people are going to take notice.
True that. All right, well, thank you.
If there's somebody who's not, okay, have a good day.
All right, awesome, thank you. Bye. Didn't mean to cut her, but there's like, the lines are actually full. 812, how you doing? Where you calling from?
Hi.
Hi.
Mel, oh my gosh, I'm excited to talk to you.
Thanks for calling. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good.
My name's Nicole.
Hey, Nicole.
And I just had a thought about like the affidavit, kind of. I feel like they need to find the murder weapon. Like that would get just a hole in one case. But reading the affidavit, there was like those few hours where his phone was off, like around the murders, not when he was driving to and from, but like going in the direction. There's like a national park over there. So what if he like dumped it? Like, I wonder if they're going to go look for it there, you know?
That's what, so yeah, I heard some people mention the national forest, or like, what do you think? Or some people even thought maybe he buried it, or I don't know, threw it in the water somewhere. I wonder what kind of bodies of water there's around there, but there could be so many places. And I guess he didn't.
It'd be like a needle in a haystack, but like maybe he'll like break one day, because I feel like he's a weirdo and he wouldn't get rid of it. Like he put it somewhere.
Hold on to it. Was it like
yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. There's so many places he could have hidden that.
I know someone should just take a couple metal detectors and go check, walk around.
That's a lot of land, flat lands. I don't know. Maybe somebody will come across it someday. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye. Thank you. 301. How you doing? Where you calling from?
Hello?
Hi.
Is it me?
You're on. How you doing?
Sorry. I'm from Maryland and I'm not a housewife. The chat was talking about that. Anyway, I have a few questions. One, what they got at the apartment, they said they got a computer tower, but I didn't see mention of a laptop or something like that. Do you remember seeing that they got a laptop or anywhere?
No, they said.
Because, being in college and being, a teacher's assistant or whatever and all this, you would think that he would have a laptop. What if he used the laptop for all his scheming and everything, and he chucked that along with the clothes and everything?
That would be interesting.
Just a thought.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that.
Thought.
Yeah, because they didn't take anything from his office.
I know it went in, right. I know it said, about they could collect any electronic devices, blah, blah, but I didn't see where it said they got a laptop. So, the laptop was in Pennsylvania, somebody said. Yeah, I just was wondering about that. And, yeah, I'm sure whatever they took from the sheets, his sheets and all that stuff, that was, was that possibly to get more DNA and stuff like that too from him,
Well, yeah, it says here, the other thing, it says 2 top and bottom of mattress cover packaged separately, both labeled C, multiple stains, one tested. Like, I don't know, what kind of stains? Blood? Or they didn't specify the color or anything on this one.
They say Mark C, so what does that stand for? But anyway, another thing, I don't know much about Twitch, but I saw that the grub truck or whatever live streamed to Twitch. Does anybody think that he was watching that night when they were at the grub truck? And because the timing and everything, is there a way that you can see when you're streaming on Twitch who's watching?
Yeah. In the lot, like right now, I clicked my live thing and I can see it. Some active viewers and chatters in the community. I guess it shows some of them, not everybody. I don't know if it works like if you have to be chatting in order to be seen, or it just shows everybody. It might be something like you have to be chatting. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm sure they could probably, like, if they have his computer, they could, or his login information and metadata, they could probably check,
right,
and find out,
right. Because I thought I saw that with them tracking him on cameras and things and his cell phone, something about him leaving his apartment, like after 2:38 maybe that morning, and it's just, they were at the grub truck and then they got home around 2, and so, and I don't know, it was just a thought if they were tracking that possibly, but
right.
And another thing, wouldn't it be weird if this pet hair or whatever it is was from that dog that was skinned?
I saw some people commenting about that, and they said, Vicky sent a super chat earlier and says dog hair from skinned dog earlier, and I saw some comments. I don't know if they'd even be able to tell, but some people had mentioned that.
Right. There's just, I know they say it's not connected, but anyhow. And yes, dogs do jump up. If the dog was barking and carrying on and stuff, it's possible that, you know, he came in contact with the dog at that point, and maybe, but if he got rid of the clothes and everything, who knows what it was. It might have been somebody's cat. But all right, well, I won't stay on long.
Well, thank you so much for the call. Yeah, appreciate it. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, 646. How you doing? Where you calling from? 646. Oh, they hung up. Okay. 720. 720. How you doing? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mel. I'm calling from Colorado.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Thanks. Yeah, got like over a foot of snow, so we're snowed in. So I do have a comment on the documents that were released today or unsealed today. That list that's there is not the entire list. They didn't give us everything. And the reason I'm saying that is because I watched a live on Twitter from it wasn't Brian Enton, but it was his counterpart, Lou, I think. I can't remember what her first name is, but she was parked out there when they were going in and out of his apartment, and they took a lot of stuff. They didn't take little baggies of things. And there was one part while I was watching, they had a clear bag, and the camera zoomed in on it, and there were shoes in the bottom of that bag. There were not shoes listed on this this thing. So they're only giving us a little snippet of stuff. They aren't releasing the whole thing.
They were there for a long time too, right? I forgot how many hours. They were there for a very long time at the house.
Oh my God, they were there forever. So, you know, and it could have been another group that was in there as well. You know, this was this particular bunch, and there's probably a lot more that they took from there, because this little list you could take out. Now, I saw them take out the hard drive, the big PC, but they had like a tub of stuff and a box of things and this bag of shoes. So they took out quite a bit.
I haven't seen a bag of shoes. I don't know. I guess if you could send me.
Now, if I can find it, if I can find it, I will email it to you.
Okay.
Picture of the bag. Yeah. And I thought, oh my God, they took shoes. Well, this was before we knew that they found a footprint. But maybe they were maybe they took the shoes to check the shoes for the size of shoe against the footprint. Who knows? But regardless, they took shoes out of there, because I did see that. So, and I was watching that whole stream that day of what the heck are they taking out of there? Now, the laptop was probably with him in Pennsylvania. You take your laptop with you.
Well, somebody had said or somebody left me a comment. They were like, "Damn, they didn't do a search warrant of like the parents' house." I guess they didn't.
Oh, they did.
They did?
No, they did.
Okay.
They did. Oh, they took quite a few things out of the house, and that came from someone in Pennsylvania that was watching. So they did take things, and they had to. They had a search warrant for the house because, again, he was throwing trash out at the neighbor's house.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
So they want to get in there and get everything that they can. And again, they also had a search warrant for his car, right? So,
right.
Even though he was cleaning it out. So they were in and out of that house, and those parents had to deal with them going in and finding everything. So that to me is, okay, we got some stuff, but we didn't get everything.
I mean, I guess. Over here it says, well, I don't know, it says all seized from residents and currently stored at WSUPD. It was it was sealed, I guess, and they crossed it out because it was unsealed. 1/17/2023 court order. So yeah, I don't know how that process works. I'd have to maybe I could ask Maven sometime. Maven's in the chat. Do they if there's other stuff they took from his apartment, they could not put it in here? They could hide that, or what? Or would they have to list everything they took?
And maybe not release it all. I think it was a lawyer, was saying today that, there's probably more. This is just a very small list.
Okay.
But I saw the shoes. I saw a bag of shoes. So I know that wasn't on the list. And there was way more stuff they carried out of there than just that.
Okay.
So, and on the dog hair, my brother has 2 golden doodles, and I have black sofas. He was here last Saturday, and we just happened to be talking about dogs shedding. And he said, "Oh, I'm real lucky that my dogs don't shed that much." And I said, "They probably don't shed that much, but you still find little curly dog hairs now and then." He goes, "Yeah," and I said, "But they're real fine." And he goes, "Yeah." Well, when he left, my sofa is black. There was some dog hair.
No, but there's animal people that say that's not possible.
Well, I'm telling you, but then again, he's always petting his dogs and walking his dogs and playing with his dogs. So, it has to transfer at some point.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's logical.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple hairs on there, and I had to laugh. But we did have this conversation last week about dogs shedding. So I went, yeah, people say that they don't shed. They're the ones that people that are allergic to dogs, that they don't want the dog dander and all of that. But you'll still get hair. It's got to go somewhere. It has hair has a life cycle just like a human does. We're dropping hair all the time. So, dogs do the same thing.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate that. Sharing that.
Thanks, Mel.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye. 330. How you doing? Where you calling from? 330.
Hi, Mel. How are you?
Good. Who's this? Welcome.
I'm Phyllis, and I'm calling from Ohio. I'm one of your best cheerleaders.
Oh, Ohio.
You're designed for much more. I keep telling you that.
Thank you so much.
So go for it. Listen, I was listening to quite a few shows today with the latest stuff. Unlike the other caller, I think some of the stuff they have is just plain circumstantial. They're not going to be able to do too much with it unless there is combined blood. If one of the victims' blood, or at least one, let's say, blood is mixed with his blood or mixed with the clothing he has on, then that's going to sink him. But if it's nothing but his blood, which I don't know how they would even come up with his blood, because we don't know what really happened in the rooms. But with the other stuff that they have that they're not going to disclose to us until court time, I just believe they're going to hang him. And I believe that he got overwhelmed when he got to the fourth person. I don't believe he saw GM in the doorway. I believe that he had prior contact with the girls, though.
Oh, what do you mean, like?
In Pullman.
Okay.
At the coffee shop, because the one girl, the one that had the dog, was known to have gone to Pullman. So he might have seen her there, or he just might have been casing them. And if we can believe that he actually direct messaged them, that's easily proven. So I think in the end, though, even if he doesn't say anything, that they're going to have enough evidence to sink this guy. And I was thinking, though, too, I said, I don't believe that, I don't know. Is he going to be weird enough that he would purposely leave clues behind? So the knowing he's going to get caught, so somebody else can kind of figure out his crime. I don't know. This guy is really weird. And I think it's kind of hard to get into his mindset.
You think that was him?
See
Like,
exactly.
on Instagram, like DMs, you think that's true or probable, or what do you think?
I didn't hear your question.
The whole thing where they say that some investigator allegedly came forward and said that he was trying to DM one of the girls on Instagram before the murders happened. You think that's...
I think that's true. Because he probably have seen at least one of the girls prior to this happening. And he probably did try to make contact, you know. And maybe he was afraid just to go directly up. So what better way, you know, social media, to get in touch with somebody. And because he was stubbed, you know, he didn't like that. And it's probably happened to him time and time again. And even though the one girl from, what was that, Tinder or Kinder?
Oh, the Tinder girl, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, she actually did go out with him, but I don't think he had a whole lot of dates, especially the way he is. But I definitely believe he did it. And I think in the end, whether we ever get to the real reason, for me, and I'm just saying for me, it will be enough to know that justice will be served if he allegedly really did this. But you keep up the good work.
Okay, thank you.
And
Appreciate
I expect you to host your own show, you know, on TV one day.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll see. Who knows?
Well,
all right, appreciate it.
Keep thinking positive. All right, take care now.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice call. 504, last caller. How you doing? We're calling from. She's a nice lady.
Hey.
Hi. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm calling. Good. My name's Wendy. I'm calling from New Orleans.
Wendy, thank you for calling.
So, yeah, I noticed that the receipt said Dickies, and I thought, like, how extra creepy is it going to be if that turns out to be, like, a one-piece Michael Myers suit, you know what I'm saying?
You talking about like what he was wearing?
How creepy would that be?
The
on
black
the receipt, like on the
oh,
the
that would
one.
like yeah. I don't
Because
know.
like even the caller that called into that T-Rev or whatever, like he out of nowhere said, "Yeah, I like to like watch scary movies. I really love to watch scary movies," or something like that. And when I saw that Dickies thing, I was like, "Oh my God, is that like going to be the one-piece suit?" How creepy!
I didn't think about that. The whole the one with one Dickies tag. Is that what it is? Like a overall
like,
or something? Overall?
Yeah, it's like Michael Myers.
Oh.
Anyway, so like somebody had called about the national park, and I had kind of thought that too, but that was in Idaho, and then like on the new search warrant, that's actually they changed it to Washington, so that's not by the national park. I don't know, that was kind of weird. And then like this search warrant was before he got arrested and before they even released his name, so like nobody saw them go and get this stuff. The videos that they saw of more stuff coming out, that's all in the gag order that's not going to be released.
Okay.
Because this is before he was even named, so nobody knew to look for him.
Okay.
Because this like was even filed before the 28th, it says, and he was like arrested the 30th. And then I saw like one more cool thing on 10 to Life. She was talking about if Kaylee was the like the target, that she did like a run through and Kaylee wasn't in her room. She was in Maddie's room, and like the dog was in Kaylee's room.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting if he went in there first and the dog, you know, sometimes somehow came in contact with them, and then they find a hair of an animal. Who knows? But I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I've seen some people talk about why, I don't know, the dog was left in another room. Could be a lot of different reasons, but it's also, it's possible he might have walked in there first.
Yeah, because it would have been her room, and if she was the target, he probably would have went there first. I don't know. You never know.
Interesting.
We're going to find out, though.
I thought, thanks for the call. I thought that Dickie's thing you pointed out was pretty interesting. I didn't think about that. At least, like,
I know, when I heard that, I like broke out in a sweat. I was like, that is the creepiest thing ever if it turns out to be that.
But when you say Michael Myers, like, what are you saying? Because he wore
Like
something
the
like that, like a
scary
coverall
movie
or something?
Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who Michael Myers is?
Yeah, I heard of him, but I don't remember.
Halloween.
Oh, the overall that he's wearing. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a blue one-piece. Yeah.
That would be, I don't know. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I don't know. And then I thought about that guy that called into T-Rev, if it's him, who knows. But that guy out of nowhere said, like, I love to watch scary movies and horror flicks or something like that. I was like, oh my God.
Somebody said Dickie's getting free advertising. All right. Well, thank you so much for the call. Yeah, appreciate it.
you.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
That was interesting, at least, because I saw that earlier, and I was kind of like, when I was reading, I didn't think too much of it. I kind of wondered a little bit in my head, but maybe it's some sort of overall. Maybe that's the point of that. Like, even if they didn't find his clothes, maybe they found this receipt. And maybe, who knows, maybe DM can speak to more. Maybe they'll bring some sort of the similar one that he purchased. Maybe they'll bring that same one into the courtroom and ask DM, like, is this what he was wearing? You know, this black clad, whatever. Interesting. The timestamp. That's a good clip, actually. Let me play this clip. I guess. I really just kind of want to pop in tonight to hang out with you guys a little bit. And tomorrow we'll be doing Anna Walsh. Some really weird, crazy updates with that. Where was that? Creepy guy. Creepy.
Now, I believe. Yeah. What do you make of this story if he was trying to reach out to her and communicate in some way?
I mean, I find it unsurprising. We've spoken about this on this show, that there's a very good chance he was going to show up on their social media. And that's one of the things you look at as, an investigative task force. When you consider the fact that the police have already confirmed that he stalked them in the real world, at least 12 drive-bys prior to the murders near the house, then it's not very surprising that he would have done the same thing online. In fact, I would have been surprised if he had not done something like that. And so, assuming this reporting is true, I think that it tracks likely with what we've seen of his behavior.
Then if that's the case, he would feel some measure of rejection from her, I would.
Right, and we don't know that he was contemplating the murders when he did that, so if the argument is, well, how could he be so transparent? Of course, the police would pick that up. We don't know what his plan was, and we don't know the timeline here. What it does, interestingly, though, there's a number of ways that the police could have gotten this. The task force, there's legal process served on Meta, which is the parent company of Instagram. But it's also possible here that they got into his phone. They would have taken his phone, I'm sure, with search warrants in the Pennsylvania location when they did that raid. It's one of the reasons you do a no-knock raid, so to ensure that he doesn't destroy evidence. And these days, actually, while phone access can be very difficult with the facial recognition, the law on that is still developing. But with a search warrant, that's actually easier than it had been when it came down to passwords and things like that. So this could argue they got into his phone, they got his Instagram identification, and then after that, it was a very simple search warrant to see, okay, let's see if he turns up. Well, they just looked on the phone. It might have still been.
Or hers, too.
There's a huge amount of interest in this story, and this kind of new information comes out, and so everyone thinks, okay, so now we'll know. But we're going to have to wait till June till all of this fully comes out?
Well beyond that. So one of the things that, we spoke about this last time on the show, is that this was supposed to be just an administrative hearing, very, very quick. This is just a probable cause hearing. It's just a sort of confirmation of the fact that probable cause was legally achieved. A very low-level administrative thing. A 6-month continuance for this first blush hearing is unusual. Remember, this doesn't start the trial. Now you're going to still have to have an arraignment. He hasn't even pled yet. So that's another appearance. Then you're going to have all the discovery, the fighting over the evidence. There's going to almost certainly be a motion to change venue. Right? Then you're going to have to pick a jury. Then you have the trial. And then
But could he plead guilty before then?
Of course.
At any point?
He could, of
course. Do you
course.
expect that?
I was leaning that way, except for Steve Goncalves has been very forward about wanting the death penalty, and they defer to the families on these things, so they may go all the way on this.
Okay. So another thing, let's talk about it real quick. Marcia, do I still have it? Marcia said, Mel, look up ski mask from Dickies, which is, I thought that's another good thing to check out. That's interesting. Who knows? We're thinking overalls, coveralls, whatever you want to call it. It could be, maybe it was a mask. The thing that this guy was, where you see his eyebrows or whatever. Or they got, let's see here. Oh, they got overalls like this too. But she said Michael Myers. I don't know why I was just thinking of the mask and all this stuff, but she was just talking about, like, I guess the overall that the guy was wearing. So that Dickies tag, I think that's a really interesting thing that the caller brought up. Could be anything, right? That's interesting. So, all right, I guess that's it. I'm going to move you guys over to tomorrow's stream. Sometime tomorrow, I will prepare for that. I still have another notification left in case something pops off tonight. Make sure you check out Swag It. I'm posting videos every morning, mornings with Mel. And also enter to win $500, or I think even up to $1,000 at the end of the month. We're going to do it on the 28th. I got to schedule that live stream, so just click the link, download the app, follow me on there, and make sure you follow all my other social media platforms. I'm going to be posting short form content on like TikTok and Twitter and Facebook, wherever you're at. If you want to follow me there, I appreciate that. Thank you for everybody that called in, and that's it. Thank you so much. And there's quite a bit I think that we need to cover with Ann Walsh and Brian Welsh, and I even had a conversation with a friend earlier today, and I was thinking they have more on this guy Brian, I think, as of what's publicly released anyway, than they have well, they're both Brians. Oh crap, I just forgot about that. They have more on Brian Welsh than they have on BRYAN Kohberger. So, all right, but thank you guys so much. Take care. Hit the like button on the way out. Peace. Bloop 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 bloop. Ah. Adios. Oh, whoa. And thank you so much for the super chats. GHI, thank you for that nice super chat. Vicky, thank you for the super chat. Nessie, thank you for the 11-month membership. That's a shame. It says, damn, Laura, that poem was creepy as F, but I feel it. Lisa Suin, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, your Twitch is muted. People are saying it's fixed now. I'm not sure what happened. I think it's when my computer froze. Lex Lux, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime subscription, which we got to start doing again, some more Twitch lives. Have some ideas on that. Gypsy, thank you so much for the membership. My cousin's child got pushed back again. Long time. Damn, sorry. I wonder why did I get pushed back? But yeah, thank you guys so much. We will talk. Take care. Peace. The Bryans are rising up. Oh, that chase sucked yesterday too, didn't it?